It's time to stop feeling unworthy.
What's up, guys? Today we're talking about feeling unworthy because of your sin, and I'm with Jason here. So,
guys.
It might be a little bit windy, so if the quality gets bad, that's why. So, recently I've been struggling with feeling unworthy from my sin. I'm someone that struggles with like lust or getting angry at people, and a lot of the times my anger gets like built up and then is expressed through like silence, and through all those things that I have trouble with, I find myself feeling unworthy of spreading the gospel online.
I'm so sorry. I'm getting a call.
No, you're good. Oh, there's a dog.
Oh, hey.
Hey, wait, he has no owner.
Hey, he's over there.
Oh, there he is.
Hey.
Yeah, so, I don't know what that dog is. That? That's...
You want to say hi to the viewers?
Oh.
Say hi.
Hi. Yeah. No, you're good. You're good.
I'm good.
Good. What's her name again? I think we met, right?
Yeah, you look familiar,
Yeah.
guys. Yeah.
What's her name?
Kayla.
Kayla, that's right.
Yeah,
She's so happy.
Let's go.
Alright, I'll see you around.
How we going?
See, here's the thing. You think Kayla ever worries about being unworthy?
No.
Never.
No, she doesn't.
Never.
Because she understands. She understands that. What is it they say? That she doesn't worry about the next time she'll eat a meal.
Yeah.
She understands that the meal provider will provide.
Yeah. It's that trust. It's that faith. She has faith in her owner.
Exactly.
You
know? Yeah. So kind of back to what we were talking about with feeling unworthy. I heard this quote. It was from a sermon, and they said, Jesus, he knows you by your. He knows you. I'm gonna redo that. So essentially, the devil, he knows your name but calls you by your sin, and Jesus knows your sin but calls you by your name.
Amen.
And so, by understanding that those words of wisdom, you can understand that like a lot of the times when you feel unworthy is like it's because the devil's playing into your mind. You're playing, and you're kind of playing into the same game that he's playing you with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're kind of like right where he wants you. You know,
Yeah.
pinned up against the ropes.
Yeah. So yeah, do you ever have any like moments where you feel like unworthy? I guess of.
Oh, totally. You know, it's like I have all these conversations with my friends. You know, helping them battle their sin, and then you know, I go home and I commit the same sins. You know, and it's like, am I a hypocrite for preaching the gospel, but not walking it? You know, but
yeah, that's a good point to touch on. Is that we're always going to struggle with hypocrisy, because we all fall short of the glory of God. So unless we were perfect, like Jesus, there's like, sorry, I was looking at the dog is still over there. Unless we were like Jesus, which we're not, we should always strive to be like him. But the truth is we're not. So we're always going to struggle with sin.
Yeah.
And so part of feeling unworthy is like you don't want to come off maybe as a hypocrite when preaching the gospel to other people. Like, how am I going to explain to someone how to beat lust when I haven't defeated it myself?
Yeah.
Or how am I going to explain to someone how to overcome a temptation or anger when I haven't learned to do it myself? But the point is that you work through Christ and you live by God, and more you start to walk in your relationship with Jesus, so that way your sin becomes not the biggest focus of your life. You know, because when you try to resist sin for so long, you end up falling into it. Or when you try to battle sin for so long, you fall into it. But when you focus on God, that's when you start falling into sin less.
And it's like striving for perfection, right?
Yeah.
You know, my pastor always at the beginning of sermons, he's always addressing the new people in the room and saying, like, if you're looking for a group of perfect people, like, this isn't the place, you know?
Yeah.
Like the church is the people who are, you know, working their hardest to better themselves and better their relationship with God and live a less sinful life. But, you know, I don't think that work is ever fully done. You know, we were just talking about today, you know, at the end of our lives, you know, when God is judging us, I don't think any of us are going to be completely cleansed of all sin we've ever done, and we're still not going to be worthy of being let into the kingdom, but yet God will still be there to give us grace as long as we're continuously working towards that.
Exactly. He took the sin so that way, or he took the punishment of the sin so that way we didn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
We always sin, and it always is against him when we do those kind of things. But you have to understand that in the Bible it talks about him going up on the cross and just like taking that burden away from you, so that way you don't carry it on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, that's what the devil wants. He wants you to think that you have to carry on that burden and fight it by yourself.
Yeah.
You have to do it all by yourself, so that way you can come out victorious, and that way you can have the title of saying, I defeated the sin. But the thing is, Jesus already defeated that sin.
Amen.
Amen to that.
Yeah, I know. I always think about it in terms of like, if I'm not thinking that God actually forgave me for my sin, if I'm rejecting that forgiveness, like that's a sin in and of itself, like that's like, I don't know, Mr. Beast giving you $1 million and you're like, no, I don't believe you, like, and you reject it. It's like, no, like you should accept the gift of forgiveness from your Creator. There's no reason to reject it and sit in that guilt.
Yeah. I want to say lately, like the past 3 weeks, I've been struggling to like read my Bible and get the word out there like Jesus calls us to do, because I've just been sitting in my filth. And because I've been sitting in my filth, I just start thinking about how I could come clean. But I'm like, how am I going to come to God and become and get cleansed if like I'm still struggling with all these sins? And so every time I would think of like, all right, I know I'm dirty right now, I could just get in the shower and get cleaned by Jesus. Every time I'm held back by it, it's like the devil repeating into my ear, like, oh, you've already messed up so much. There's no, how are you going to flip your life around and turn it around? You know what I mean?
There's no redemption.
Yeah. That
you're not forgiven.
Exactly.
And one more time can't hurt.
Yeah. That's, oh my gosh, I've heard that so many times.
Yep.
And so yeah, that's just the main point, is that when you feel unworthy, go to God. Because even though the devil's going to be like, oh, you're not worthy to go to God, you're not worthy to seek the wisdom of him because of your sin, Jesus is like, no, because of your sin, I took on that burden.
Yeah.
And I took on that problem for you. So please come to me.
Yeah, 100%. And I found a lot of times when I fall into sin, it's because of the other things I'm doing in my life. It's those small decisions of like scrolling on Instagram, even if obviously that's not inherently a sin, but maybe I'm supposed to be working. I'm an entrepreneur, I run my own business, so during the times I should be working and driving my mission forward that God's called me to, and I decided to take an hour-long break scrolling social media. I'm not where God wanted me to be, and that's where you're the most vulnerable to the enemy. I always think back to King David. When most kings were out to war, where he should have been, he ends up cheating on his wife.
Yeah. Yeah, because he wasn't like focused, I guess is the word.
Yeah, and he knew before he even made the decision to cheat. He knew he wasn't where he was supposed to be, where the rest of the kings were. So,
and that's the funny thing about sin, is that a lot of the times we know that we're not supposed to be in that position.
Oh, yeah.
We know the outcome. Like when I'm struggling with lust, I'm doing it to control my emotions for a certain amount of time. But I know that by the end of it, after I'm done lusting after these women or whatever, it's like it just, I feel that pain again. I feel the same thing I was feeling before, but worse.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the more aware you are of it, though, like the better. It's a great thing. If you're watching this and you're dealing with lust, you're dealing with sin, like, and you're feeling guilty about it, good. Like that means you care, and that means you want to be clean. So, just leave that at the foot of the cross and.
Yeah, that's
pray about it. Yeah,
leave it at the foot of the cross. That's the best way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave it to God, and He'll make you new.
Yeah, I saw a cool video by I'm Beggar, where it was like, how heavy is the cross? And he was like, if we had a rock for every sin that you've committed, put it on the cross, It's already really heavy. Now times that by every single person in the universe and all of the sins they've committed. The rocks towered higher than the entire city of New York, and that's how heavy that cross was that he died on for us.
Exactly.
That's powerful. We forget that.
Not even just the weight of the cross, but you look at what they did to him. They put nails in him. They spit at him. They cursed him out. They hit him with the cat of nine tails. Something like that. Something like that. It's like this whip that has like rocks in it, right? And so like tearing apart his skin, he was unrecognizable. He took all of that for you.
Mm-hmm.
He took all of that for every sin. So stop trying to solve it yourself and let God solve it.
Yeah, and no matter how bad your sin is, whatever you're going through right now, whatever you think is so unforgivable that even God can't forgive you, and something that you're so ashamed of that you can't even tell your best friends, tell your girlfriend, tell your parents, like you feel like it's just weighing you down that much. It's not just you. Like, everybody sins.
Exactly.
This is something that we all deal with, and I guarantee if you start looking for that support, whether it's through your church, whether it's through your significant other, like it's gonna be a lot better to get that out, and share that with them than it is to just keep it inside. Because trust me, like, everybody sins. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, and keeping it inside. You made a good point about that. It's like, when you keep the sin just inside of your head and to your knowledge, you're giving the devil a place. Like, you're giving the devil a playground in your mind. But in reality, you should be giving and speaking about your sin to God, or maybe people at the church, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Because it's important to know that you're not alone. You're not the only one who struggles with that particular thing. Even though you may feel like you're alone, you're not.
And I definitely want to highlight, like, go to God, because there's so much about today's like stoic culture, like Andrew Tate, David Goggins. It's like if you're suffering, like, especially for men, they're like, oh, if you're suffering, just stop. Just don't suffer and move on and work hard. And it's like, that puts so much weight on you as a person. Like, we are humans. Like, we can't burden that much weight. The only person who can burden that weight is God himself, and he's already taken that from you. You just have to let him.
Exactly. And a lot of those, like, motivation, I guess, self-motivation videos is that they're all self-centered. They're all about how you can defeat it, how you will overcome it, how you will beat it, and how you will be victorious over it, whatever problem you're dealing with, or whatever barrier you're trying to break, or generational curse, or whatever business you're trying to start. Because all these things, like, you have to realize that, like, it's not your doing, it's his doing.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
So
amen. 100%.
But yeah, I think that's really the main point of the video, is just to stay unbothered and what was the original thing?
Unworthy. Yeah.
The point of the video is that you're gonna feel unworthy because of your sin, but give it to someone who knows your worth.
Don't give it to your TikTok algorithm.
Don't give it to your TikTok algorithm.
Don't give it to the guy in your math class that always loves to talk about something.
Don't do it to a random girl you see at a party.
Yeah.
Don't do it to, I don't know, the liquor store. Don't just.
Yeah. There's so many places.
Cigarettes.
There's so many places you can put that pain in. There's so many easy places that are just so accessible. Whether it's a scroll on your phone, whether it's a game of Fortnite, like, there's so many places to just hide from that sin.
Exactly.
But as humans and as children of God, we have to, learn to let go and find a place like this. Come to the beach. Come to somewhere peaceful. Away from all those distractions, away from all the worldly things that are gonna pull you in that wrong direction, and just connect. Just connect. That's it.
I think a good sentence to end off this video is by saying, "Let go and let God."
Amen.
Amen to that.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching.
Yeah.
Amen. God bless you guys. And,
I'll see you guys. Love you guys.
Love you.
Adios.
Bye.